YouTube, what the Total War Rome 2 crap is going on? HeirofCarthage back on the Carthage Divided Empire campaign. I was going to record more tonight, like hopefully get you an online battle too, but I didn't have time because I was trying to upgrade to Windows 10, and obviously that meant there could have been problems, and it's probably a good thing that the upgrade didn't work, because who knows if Rome 2 and all the other stuff would have worked right. But anyway, I was trying to upgrade, and it's giving me some bull crap about not being able to upgrade my system reserved partition or whatever. And I run a solid state drive and a hard disk drive, so I figured, the problem's probably at just their installer tools looking for the C drive, and my OS runs off of the F. And so I was like, I'd just unplug my traditional hard disk drive and tried it again, and it still didn't work. And I deleted the partition it was complaining about. That didn't solve anything, so I was like, well, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if I'm gonna have to do like a clean install, like get a boot drive ready with Windows 10 and then do a fresh install, or if there's some way I can get past it. Obviously I'll have to go out and do some Googling to see if any tech savvy folks out there solved it. But I'm excited about Windows 10, mostly because of DirectX 12. But the other thing that's exciting to me, and we're going to have to see how it works, this isn't a promise. Some of you have said, man, I miss Heir of Reach. Why'd you have to get rid of that? Well, whenever YouTube came out with its new like content program, whatever, basically this new program where you can claim you're the content creator and claim stuff, and YouTube assumes that they're right, regardless of whether they're right. It's basically a really creator-unfriendly content system, and I hate it, and I've hated it ever since it's been out. It's bullcrap. I've actually had to delete several videos, even though the claim on my video wasn't correct, and the Creative Assembly would back me up. Some company was making stupid claims on a couple of my Empire videos, and I ended up just deleting the video because it ticked me off so bad. And it's because, and it's not like they were going to make my video unviewable, but there's just something that crawls under my skin knowing that someone's lying, and it's some music company that makes a crap load of money, which I'm not against because I'm a capitalist. I like the opportunity to make a lot of money, but they're making a crap load of money, and they are worried about their song showing up in the background of one of my commentary videos that I spent my time on, and I'm talking over their song. And it's like, really? You deserve 100% of the ad revenue off of little old Heir's video because there's a few seconds of a song in the background that you say you own the rights to, even though I'm not seeing anything that actually says that. And then I'm supposed to surrender 100% of the profit, which is beans compared to what they bring in. But it's like, you have the time to go crawling the internet searching for this kind of stuff and making these claims against me. And then, of course I objected to it, and YouTube agreed based on what I had, and then the company just comes back and puts another one on it, and YouTube just grants it straight back to him again. It's stupid. I have no idea how it works or why it works. Anyway, long story short, that's why I quit the Heir of Reach channel, because I knew that I had Halo music dubbed into some of my videos, and I was going to end up getting all kinds of copyright claims, because Microsoft doesn't give a crap if you show Halo games. However, some of the music, especially in the older Halo games, is owned by a different company, and they will flag you for the use of their music. I did not monetize videos on the Heir of Reach channel, so it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But since I monetize now, I was not really feeling like it was worth my while to buy an up-to-date capture card, to get all the things that I needed in my home to put Halo videos up. And so with Windows 10, they actually, and I know this is kind of long, I will make sure that the time in which I'm describing this doesn't count towards the video. In Windows 10, there's a live streaming capability with the Xbox One, which means I can live stream the Xbox One over the network in my home to my computer, and I can actually play the Xbox through my computer screen, which means I can record it easily with my broadcasting software in full quality without having to buy a capture card. Now, full quality assumes that their streaming service will be good enough to deliver full quality. It may not. I'll have to look. But it provides the possibility. And if that works, now remember, this is a big if, this isn't a promise, if that works, you will see the occasional return of the Heir of Reach. We'll get you some Halo footage, especially when Halo 5 comes out. Microsoft, like I said, does allow you to show the games. They don't care. It's part of their user license agreement that you can make content out of their game, and you can even monetize off of it. But they obviously won't cover me against any music, but we can deal with that eventuality if and when it appears. Anyway, long story short, that's done. We're here for the Carthage campaign, so that's what we'll do. And by the way, that's the only reason why I was particularly interested in upgrading to Windows 10 quickly. Otherwise, I realized that even if I upgraded, I'd still have to wait for games to update and drivers and all kinds of other stuff to have the full advantage of it. So let's see if we can start converting over Patavium. We're going to get glasswares out of it, which will be quite nice. I'm going to tear down this quarry type building. Won't need it. I'm going to get rid of the military structure as well. We shouldn't need that either. So at this point, Magna Graecia and Italia should start to become very stable and profitable. You can see that I'm making quite good money at this point for the first time in this campaign, really making pretty good money. I do need to put this agent in his agent stance, and then I have another agent here who is in his stance. The dignitaries act as governors in this game, and they can help drive up the income in certain provinces, and I think that Italia would probably be another good place to put another dignitary. We'll go ahead and throw this guy in there. It does cost a fair bit of money, but it should have a nice return on it over time, I think. I don't know exactly what the return is. I haven't calculated it. I asked you in the last episode what you all want to see me do next. Where do you want me to invade? Where do we want to take this campaign? We killed the Romans. They're our arch nemesis. We fought the Little Punic War. And so right now, I feel like we have some good options, and I'll kind of walk through what those options are thus far. So some of you want me to come down here and clean out, even if they're my allies, maybe, or even if they're maybe not my allies, but like clean out factions like the Gaiatuli and Garamantia and just get them all cleaned out. Some of you want me to come over here and take over the Nile and have like a Carthaginian-owned Nile Valley. Some of you want me to take Hispania from the Lusitani and the Arverni and claim what would have traditionally been a lot of Carthaginian territory. I've seen all kinds of suggestions, and all of them look pretty fun, to be honest. One suggestion was that I make a Carthaginian invasion of Britannia. That would be pretty entertaining as well. I want to say that someone suggested I just go after lowland Gaul, but then some people are like, well, you already did that in your DEI, in your standard Carthage campaign. Most of you seem to agree not to go after Greece, just because there didn't seem to be a whole lot of point in that right now, since I had good trade with them. One thing I thought would be interesting, and tell me what you all think of this, if anything. The Romans were never able to conquer Germania, all this area over here, and they did a little bit of work in Dacia under Trajan, but really this whole area up here was like a death zone for the Romans. They just never could seem to tame it. And maybe it would be fun if I went after Germanic factions. I mean, the Suebi are just to the north of me here. I could come out of Cisalpina and go after the Suebi and just push on. They appear to have a lot of territory up here, and that would be kind of interesting seeing a Punic Germanic type conflict. The one other suggestion that I saw that was really a pretty neat idea: come back to the motherland of Carthage, which would have been, its home city would have been Tyre in Phoenicia, and that's where the Punic comes from. Phoenician, Punic, Poini, all those words kind of hail back here to Phoenicia in the Middle East, and probably what is modern day Syria, I believe. I think probably Syria. Again, I'm not real good with the geography there. So that would be where, if I go back and take it, I could then potentially stage a takeover of the Seleucid Empire and basically have a Carthaginian-owned Far East, which would be pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. So I don't know. Tell me what you all think out of those options, and just leave some comments again, and I'll read through them and make a decision based on what people are telling me. So we've got stuff figured out there. There's no upgrades to run. We have our research going. We're going to drop the cost of mercenaries. That's good. Let's go ahead and end the turn. What I will do for now is capture Cisalpina, because we know we want it. I want to control the whole of Italy, and we'll kind of just see what happens at that point. Maybe the Suebi want to declare war on me, and maybe that option becomes more likely. Doesn't mean I have to follow it. Who knows? Well, let's just kind of see what happens and see if this episode has any sway on your thinking, and you can leave me a comment down on the bottom. So we're going to go attack the Insubres and the Ligurians, and definitely make an attempt to take over their land here. So I wanted to kind of get out here and scout out Mediolanum. Massalia actually has some troops fortified out here. Let's take Massilia, sorry. Massilia has troops. They are at war with the Insubres, so they are going to want to take Mediolanum. And to be honest, we could take Massilia away if we had to as well in order to take control. This army is within a quick shot of sieging Mediolanum, and it's completely in good shape to do so. So at this point I would recommend that we go ahead and do so. The Insubres have no allies, and I'm not going to call my allies to help because there's no such need. I'm going to build some battering rams. And let's just continue the siege. This is Hannibal that's sieging Mediolanum. We can build some new buildings here. We're going to need... I'll go ahead and start with a consecrated ground, though I may change it later, and we'll put a farm in as well. Get a little extra agriculture. We should churn up quite a bit more agriculture out of Italy as well. Should be quite nice. And I do have 2 temples in Italy. I won't need those forever, I don't think. Or I may need the ones that boost public order more. We'll kind of just play that by ear and see what we need. Let's. I have quite a bit of money now, so we should probably use it to start upgrading things that make sense while I'm making it. Some of these upgrades do take food, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we need to make sure that we don't use up all of our food either. And if you look, I get 6 food out of this, and if I upgraded, I get 4 squalor for 4 food, so it's kind of a rough trade, to be honest. I have this shrine to Baal Haman, which is great, but it's best at converting the stuff to Punic influence. So what would be better is if we switch this to the one that gives the much larger boost to public order, which I believe is this one, the Tanit, that has the max public order boost. Let's make sure. Temple of Astarte, Melkart. So the shrine, consecrated gowns, shrine of Tanit. Yeah, +8 public order. I don't think any of them do better than that. +2 public order. Yeah, that's what we want. So we'd want to go down the line with Tanit there. So I think we should spend some money to go ahead and convert this over to the shrine of Tanit. Plus it gives us a little extra wealth from culture, which is not going to hurt anything. And then that should help offset the, like if I do this to offset the amphitheatron, it should also offset the public order penalty once I get that upgraded. But that'll take a few turns, so let's give it the time. And this province, I need to keep my shrine to Baal Haman, because it's going to help keep the Arverni from having too much influence with Celtic culture. You can see that they're already fighting me with it. They may have an agent around that's playing a difference too. I am going to convert this Shrine of Melkart to the Tanit as well. Unfortunately, I don't really know what else I want to do there just yet. Numantia. We get a little bit of a public order penalty due to building the warhorse breeding up. It doesn't really do a whole lot for me either. That's a pretty big public order hit at -4, considering what you get out of these other buildings, and 4 food is a pretty big hit too. We'll just kind of play it by ear for now, because like if I do all 4 of these, that's a -12 to public order that comes off of upgrading all the farms in this province, and I'm only at +9 right now. So if I go +4, or I'll get +5 here to public order, and net I would take away +8 food. But I would end up having, -7 on my public order, so it would take me clear down to 2 on the public order. And then if I want to do these, it takes food, so that would not be enough food to, well, yeah, it would be close. I'd still end up losing food a little bit in the end to this kind of thing. So it's very you have to balance it well, I think, in Rome 2 as opposed to Attila. It's a little bit easier, it seems like, to build up extra stocks of food. I do want to build up the town centers where I can. I feel like that would be a quick, worthwhile investment for me. I've got this Shrine to Melkort here too, and that's not very helpful. Switch to the Shrine to Tanit instead, so that public order bonus is going to be key for me. I've used up most of my money. We've got Mediolanum under siege. There's not any upgrades that I need to give any of my troops or agents.
I do the told with the old.
I won't be giving you military access because I don't know whether or not I intend to be hostile towards you yet. Looks like Garamantia is at war with Egypt. That's fine. I'd be perfectly happy if the Egyptians killed the Garamantians. So we're building the Shrine to Baal Haman over there, which will... I don't even know if we need the Shrine to Baal Haman anymore, to be honest. We definitely want Tanit, because we're going to convert to Punic culture here regardless. I'll leave the Shrine to Baal Haman for a while, because it will help more quickly convert to Punic culture. And then we will go ahead and... Well, see, you can get extra food from this Traveler's Lodge, too, with very little negatives, so that's kind of nice. At least at that level. Yeah, there's no negatives. Wow, so the Traveler's Lodge is the solution to the food issue. Never mind. Well, that's pretty simple. So everything I just talked about can be easily solved by just not necessarily running the farms all the way up and just running the Traveler's Lodge. Well, there you go. You learn something whenever you pay attention, and apparently paying attention paid off. Look at this. The Ligurians have an army up here. Do they feel kindly towards the Insubres? They do not. They are at war with them as well. So these factions would most likely support me if I were to auto-resolve a battle here. They would. The Ligurians are offering to support me in this. Celtic tribesmen, man, I know how those arrow towers are. I'd like to fight this, but man, those arrow towers are just nuts. Hopefully they don't like kill off all my elephants. No, they actually, it appears to be kind of fixed. I don't need to loot it. Yeah, I kind of do need to loot it. That's some nice money. I don't know if that damages my reputation or what for looting. I have no idea. Let's just tear this crap down and build it up the way we want. There we go. We got a temple coming up here. We can make that the Shrine to Baal Haman. We're going to need to hit the Ligurians at this point. But we will wait until I kind of get to where I want to be. The Traveler's Lodge here would be pretty nice. Though I kind of feel like we should first build an actual... Well, and I'd kind of like to have libraries as well. Man, these wine traders are nice too. It really helps boost your trade up a lot. I'm going to start with the amphitheatron. And then we'll try and build some travelers' lodges at some of these major city centers. Like, so for instance, if we have +5 here, we could build the Traveler's Lodge to get the extra food rather than causing all the extra public disorder penalties from our farms. Let's see, we don't have any upgrades. We could spend more money, technically, upgrading. See, I have the library here, which is helping the research rate, but I can't upgrade the library right now because I don't have access to silk. So in the end, the library is really not going to do a lot for me right now because it cannot be upgraded to really start boosting my research. So I'd lose 12% research rate to get rid of these, which is not that big a deal. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and switch over to the Traveler's Lodge at these two provinces, and I will build the libraries at a later time whenever I have access to the silk. Because otherwise that building change is going to be sitting there kind of underutilized. Wow, that's not a bad deal either, that brick dryer. Let's go ahead and drop that in. There's really no negatives to it, to be honest. And since we're going to get the extra food from the Traveler's Lodge, I don't know that we need the war horse here either. Let's switch that over to the farm. We get a little less wealth, but we get more food. And since I'm not really hurt for wealth, I'd rather have the food right now. There we go. That should be a worthwhile switch, I think. We'll see whether or not my decisions are good in the end.
My people are proud, as are yours. But pride does not stop a man having...
I don't see any reason why I should pay them to have a non-aggression pact. It kind of feels like that should be the other way around.
My people are proud, as are yours. But pride does not...
I may want your land, so I'm not sure I feel like I can honor that agreement either. I intend to attack you, so I can't quite trade with you. Okay, so we finished our mercenary research. Got a judge that's increased in rank. We can now kind of rebuild this city in the Carthaginian image. And it probably wouldn't hurt to have a muster field up here so that we kind of have a forward base of operations outside of Italia. I don't really mind even having a military structure in a lot of the provinces. I don't have one in Italia, so yeah, it'd be good to have one there. We have one in Magna Graecia. We should probably put another one up here, so that'll be worth our while. Let's take a look at the research we completed here. Getting through to Hoplite Barracks would unlock more units and give me a considerable amount more ammunition for missile units and reduce my upkeep cost. It will take a long time to get there, but it would be fun because it would open... That one actually cost me every turn too, 12 turns at 333 a turn. So it won't be free to upgrade, but I think it'll be worth it. Go ahead and upgrade that town center while we're at it too. And since we're building these other buildings, I feel like we can go ahead and upgrade the Odeon to a, or upgrade the Amphitheatron to the Odeon. And like I said, we'll just kind of spend some of this money in order to hopefully reinforce our infrastructure while we're making good money. Okay, this judge at Carthage, or governor in this case, is mercenary upkeep cost. That's kind of cool. Start off with administrator, because it seems like there's some good stuff under there. +5 tax rate this action, so it's definitely a good one. Ooh, we probably have money for a navy now too if necessary, so if we need to we can build up a navy, which would also be potentially handy. I think the Insubres are still alive. I thought I saw one of their little stacks running around.
Our ancestors.
No, afraid not.
The portent.
Also afraid not.
Consult your ancestors.
Nope. Sure won't. I wonder what Massilia is up to here. Massilia and Liguria are both being rather friendly in my territory. They're both trespassing. Perhaps we should make an example of Liguria as to what happens to trespassers.
At your command.
I think that would be appropriate. I do not know what type of troops the Ligurians had. They actually had some decent units in the vanilla campaign. Celtic tribesmen. Yeah, these people are going to get wailed on by my men. And I don't believe the Massilians probably have good feelings towards the Ligurians either, but let's make sure that we're not opening up a double war there. Liguria, they are militarily allied with Massilia, so if I was going to strike at Liguria, it would involve a war with Massilia as well. And Massilia is here. All they have is some Greek swordsmen. They do have some Massilian hoplites, and these are some pretty decent looking units there. 20, 69, 36.
How can I serve?
22, 62, 39. 24 weapon damage. 24 weapon damage. So Carthaginian hoplites a little better than these Massilian hoplites, though their charge bonus is higher, I believe. No, mine is. So yeah, the charge bonus on the Massilian hoplites is not as high as it is in the vanilla version of the game. Oh, this is the Pride of Mago. This is actually not Hannibal, is it? Yeah, because Hannibal would have been the one to hit Rome. That's correct. So he did not have the elephants. This army has some pretty serious chevronage going on here, which is fantastic, really. It's going to be quite nice. Well, what I could do is just move Hannibal up, and we can make a dual strike with these two commanders. And that should get the job done. There we go. Arretium. Do we need to build anything at Carthago? Well, we should have extra food coming from the new... Let's see, these cost food. I think we can stabilize the public order in Carthago, because that just requires food. These actually give the public order penalty, but we would make up for all of one. So you'd basically have plus... So you'd have plus or minus 7 to public order if we did that. So it'd stand at 2, which is honestly somewhat risky. We can get plus 4 growth and plus 7 public order. It just takes up some food to do the bread and games edict. Let's actually do the bread and games edict. So I want to try something. Let's switch to the bread and games edict. Let's upgrade the Odeon. And let's upgrade these farms to give us the extra food. And then on the next turn, I'll use my money to upgrade these to trading ports to get that extra income. And let's just see how that works out. It's going to take a number of turns to get there anyway. And I think it will be interesting to see how that plays out. So one more turn end here. Let's go ahead and do that. And what I will do is we will double strike the Massilian Ligurian alliance once outside of Mediolanum. Looks like the Suebi are duking it out with the Averni up at Octodurun.
There is good in trade.
As much as I typically like trade, just not interested. Because oh, the Massilians retreated, which means that this should work out even easier than previous. So essentially, oh, and the Ligurians left Genua open too. What a massive mistake, because they didn't know that I was about to backstab them. Wow, yeah, that was a big mistake on their part. So basically now I can declare war on Liguria.
The gods will have me listen to you, but do not pass the day.
I'm not going to call my allies to help because it's not important. And now I should be able to attack Genua with full force.
For you, my lord.
Yeah, they're going to get hammered. Let's go ahead and play the battle, because we haven't gotten to play any battles this time. I don't expect that this is going to be a particularly difficult battle to win, but we will play it. I'll bring my hoplites in with support of my Libyans from all sides, and basically we should be able to crash in and crush the Ligurian defenders just via numbers. I want to say the Ligurians actually provided some troops to Hannibal in real life. I think he used some of their own past anger towards Rome against them, but it's been so long since I've read up on Hannibal's expedition into Italy. It's just fascinating. Even if you don't like Carthage as much as you like Rome, I mean, you really need to read about Hannibal's invasion of Italy. It's truly incredible, and it's very interesting to read. Plus, I almost see the Second Punic War as a turning point for the Romans as much as it was for the Carthaginians. And, well, what do you mean by that, Heir? Well, the Romans really seem to have learned from Hannibal, almost, is what I would say. It's almost like they perfected their art of war even more because of Hannibal's having kicked their butt repeatedly. It's almost like they had to learn to do better. And, I mean, if you look at the Roman war machine's record, it wasn't perfect, but after the time of Hannibal, I mean, they had a pretty outstanding
Enemy
military
reinforcements
record. They went out and conquered most of the known world to a pretty substantial extent. So, like I said, it's pretty. And again, you know, maybe that credit is not due to Hannibal, but I'm just saying there's a very real possibility that his military prowess helped incite some of the changes that really kind of helped make. Got a bit of a situation out here. Got some reinforcing troops coming in out here.
Libyan infantry! Advance at speed!
Let's go ahead and pull our skirmishers over here.
Cavalry! Loyal sons of Carthage!
We should be able to take out this mighty horse pretty easy.
As you command!
I'm gonna go ahead and reposition the hoplites. I'm gonna pull my swords and more cavalry over this way so we can destroy the reinforcing Ligurian troops, so we don't have to worry about being attacked in the back. That mighty horse is getting mightily destroyed by my bodyguard, though it did manage to kill 6 or 7 of them, so it wasn't a completely slouchy cav, especially considering it got no charge.
The enemy
So
general is dead.
in fact, that was obviously probably a pretty decent cavalry unit that we just destroyed. Hopefully these Ligurians don't sally out behind me. If they do, I'm going to leave my slingers kind of perched here in these woods to shoot them in the back, and then I can pressure them from this direction to keep their attention with these hoplites. And we'll pull this cavalry around too to just be able to threaten more. Okay, I'd like to get into hoplite phalanx with these units, so I'm going to go ahead and attempt to do so. The unit movement is very slow in this mod. I get into hoplite phalanx here. I got some really nice hoplite phalanx charges here. We should crush the Ligurians pretty substantially because of that. And we're going to hit their flank right here. And then I'm going to move around with my Libyan infantry. We're going to get outside of formation. Let's swing our cavalry around. And let's get an up close of some of my Carthaginian hoplites duking it out with the Ligurians. It's looking pretty sweet. You can see the Ligurian troops are not very heavily armored, and they're probably going to be paying a pretty severe price for it. I do like the numbers on certain barbarian units are greater than like more disciplined type units. That's something that was around in Rome 2 or in Rome 1 that really wasn't present in Rome 2 per se, and should have been, to be quite honest. It kind of helps. It really adds to the diversity and flavor of a game, and in my opinion, I really missed it from Rome 1. I do kind of hope to destroy this little reinforcing group in its entirety. Kind of want to chase their routing units. Kill as many of these guys as we can. That way they can't get away and live to fight another day. Let's get into a hoplite phalanx here with these units and prepare to start doing some damage. These units have gotten off the boat and are actually shooting me in the back.
Our hidden units
Celtic loyal bowmen, or local bowmen, not loyal. Well, they could be loyal, but there's no guarantee. Alright, we can now pull these Libyans back over this way. So that should be these 4 hoplites that we can start to pull back over that way, and we'll take these 2 and put them there. Alright, yeah, and my cavalry is just busy running down these routing units, which have, for the most part, been destroyed. So let's pull those cavalry back over here too. let's check out the Celtic local bowmen duking it out with my skirmishers. They're not doing much damage to my slingers, probably because my guys are in the woods. Oh, that is quite the peppering of sling stones there. Just Italian slingers, though, so nothing special from my slingers. They're not like the Balearics that are in my army in Hispania. These bowmen do look cool, though. There we go. So we've ruined one unit. Let's take out this other one. We'll kind of see some of the skirmish action. You gotta like light infantry type engagements. My troops are just moving into position otherwise too, so really not missing anything there. Some close-ups of that skirmish fight. Now over here, my troops could probably go ahead and enter combat. What I'll do is we'll go ahead and move up 2 units so that we don't bunch up all 4 just in case a flank gets exposed somewhere. My other units are going to be tired, probably. Potentially need to rest. Let's get these guys here. And those ones there. Okay, the reinforcements from the ships are gone. These 2 units are ready for a good old style phalanx charge here. We're going to take a few precursor jabs from the Celtic tribesmen. I'm going to go ahead and hoplite charge with this unit. Get It ought to be a pretty nice charge too. These are very light units. They should stuff her badly on the charge to my hoplites. Yeah, you can see my guys. They're killing quite a few of them. In fact, I'd be surprised. Yeah, that unit's down 20 some odd men. Which in DEI, again, that's very quickly for a unit to lose that many men. I'm gonna kind of go out of formation attack over here. And my Libyans are tired. Their stamina is poor. The stamina's poor on my hoplites too, but none of them are tired for whatever reason. My Libyans did do more running though, come to think of it. They ran over there and back. Now that unit may be getting flank attacked, so I'm going to attack this Celtic tribesman. No reason why we shouldn't just go ahead and pull up here. Got our cavalry ready to support. It does take longer to recover in this game than it does in Attila or even the vanilla Rome 2. We might be able to take these troops and get in down from the docks. Let's go try that. And maybe we can use these slingers to start softening up some of their targets in the town center while these Libyan infantry are resting. And we'll just focus on victory on this flank, which we're going to beat down these Celtic tribesmen pretty decisively, especially once I get a flanking charge over here. My goal is to use one of these hoplites. 4, 3, 1. I'm going to try and run some flank charges with my hoplite units. Hopefully this one doesn't get caught on that unit. It's going to barely tag it. Nope, it's going to get clean through and get an excellent flank charge right there.
The battle is turning in our favor.
We've got a Celtic garrison warriors coming in now, but shouldn't be a big deal. I'm going to put my skirmishers over here on fire at will. This will be a great time to bring our cavalry in via the docks. All these hoplites have busted through. I'm going to keep pushing with my slingers here. I'm going to rear charge that enemy general and then protect the back of my own hoplites here with the others. So this garrison sword captain here that they have is going to get hit from 2 flanks, and it's going to get crushed pretty badly, I would think. Got some Celtic garrison warriors and some Celtic tribesmen here that we're going to chase off. And my slingers are kind of going to town here on these armed townsfolk. I'm going to put them on skirmish. And we'll try and lure those armed townsfolk out to my Libyan infantry. So we should now be able to push on into here. Yeah, they're all their troops are basically starting to rout. Their armed town folks routed too. So there we go. Got ourselves a victory out of that, as expected. Hannibal takes an easy victory over the Ligurians, no doubt going to be convincing them that they're inferior foes. Though in real life, I believe the Ligurians had a certain prowess, and I do believe, like I said, that Hannibal used that prowess to some degree of success, incorporating them as troops in his army. His army was highly diverse. Lots of interesting stories, too, about the way Hannibal behaved himself. Supposedly, rumor had it that he would disguise himself and go into the camp with his soldiers and spend the evening, you know, there in their company around the fire or whatever it be, learning about them and learning what they thought, which is an interesting mark of leadership, you know, him really trying to put himself on the same level of understanding as his men. You know, what were they thinking? What did they think? Wow, I'm going to keep looting. We're getting some fantastic money out of that. I may end up spending it to do this anyway, but hey, whatever. I usually end up trashing all the stuff in a province and kind of building the suit anyway, even though some of you are always like, yeah, that takes longer. What are you thinking? Yeah, it probably does. Nobody ever claimed me of being overly efficient sometimes. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I think things are going pretty well here. We will keep an eye on it and continue to do what we can. We're making fantastic money now. We've got all of Cisalpina in our control, so the whole of Italy is in our control, and Massilia would probably need to fall at this point. Tolosa is part of Provincia here, so if I were to take Massilia, I'd like to own the full province, but then that would mean I would have to go to war against the Arverni, but that might kind of make more sense. Historically, the Carthaginians had some allies in Hispania, so maybe we should keep the Lusitanians and we go against Gaul. I don't know. Like I said, tell me all what you think the next episode I guess the focus of this campaign should be. And we can have several focuses, and we can take them one at a time. You know, hey, like maybe we want to conquer Germania, maybe we want to go after Britannia, maybe we want to go after Gaul, maybe we want to go after Egypt, whatever it is. Just you all tell me what you think, and we will create some scenarios, and maybe that's kind of the way that this campaign will be enjoyed by all. So you get a say-so, and we'll have those different portions of the campaign where it's maybe the war on Germania or whatever it is, or the war. Just throwing out examples. It's up to you. HeirofCarthage, signing off for now. Hope you all enjoyed it. I know I'm enjoying it, and I will see you all soon.